Assalamu alaikum, shalom, and welcome to this video. In this one I will compare my two latest amps, and when you see them you know I sold my Technics SUG 700, even though I raved about the sound quality of it and the build quality, but I came to the conclusion, and I had to try it on my own, I came to the conclusion that I need a streamer built-in for convenience, not for the sound quality of course, but for convenience. And both of these have a streamer built-in, but yet they sound different. And I didn't find a comparison of them in the internet, so I thought I have to do it on my own. And I'm sharing my experience with you. I always say the same. I'm not a YouTuber, and I think it's okay to say that, even though I upload videos on YouTube, because to call myself a YouTuber, I think I would have to put more work into my videos. I don't edit my videos, I just start the recording and tell you what my experience are. And I think YouTubers do so much more. They really put hard work in it, and I'm therefore, in my opinion, no YouTuber. Okay, now I wanted to know if maybe the Class D amp in this Yamaha WXA-50 sounds better, or in my opinion, I wanted to know if this one appeals more to my taste than its bigger brother, the R-N803D. And here you can see the remote controls. So this is for this one, and this is the remote of the little streamer amp. Now, I will come to the sound right away. If you use the small one with an external DAC, for example with the DAC built in to your CD player, then this sounds quite good. When I say quite good, it's good for its size and it's good for its price. But it doesn't compare sound-wise with way more expensive gear. The built-in DAC, though, sounds very good. So I don't know if it is something about the Wi-Fi antenna or the built-in DAC, but when you use it with a CD player, for example, then it sounds very good. So the built-in DAC, so the built-in amp and preamp are good. Now it's another story here, because this one, the 803, sounds, I would say, very good at its price range. Why do I always refer to the price range? Because there are other options too at the same price range, but without a built-in streamer that sound even better. So this costs about 700 euros now. And if you buy an amp that's just an amp and maybe an integrated amp, then you could find maybe, for example, the Cambridge Audio 851A. That sounds better. But with everything built in, and really with everything, if you don't compare it with amps which have a CD player built in, like the R-N803 Solo Music, which I will talk about in my next video, because in my next video I will compare it with this amp, with the Yamaha, because of the Solo Music from R-N803 has an built-in streamer too. But not all of the functions which the Yamaha and its MusicCast app has. So that was one argument for the Yamaha 803. Now back to this comparison. Sound-wise, I think the left one, the bigger one, sounds more hi-fi. All the instruments, for example guitars, as you know maybe, I love when guitars sound like tonally, right? Like a guitar, as dry, as refined as a guitar would sound in this room. And the left one, the big one, comes closer to that tonally correctness than the right one. And there is one more advantage of the big Yamaha, the 803. It has a room correction, this YPOW. You see here, you put in your mic, and it doesn't matter which mic, to be honest. I tried it with another mic too, and the results were about the same. So you don't have to use the mic that comes with it. And this elevates your sound experience a lot. So in this room, a lot. I can show you this room a bit. So you see it's about 22 to 23 square meters. Now, the voice, when you use this room correction, the voice of the singer is more pinpoint in the middle, and all the instruments, there is more air between the instruments if you do that, and there is less boominess. So if you have a muffled bass response in your room, that is one possible way to get rid of it. And this one doesn't have this function. Both units use the same app, the Yamaha MusicCast app, but if you are connected with this one, the app shows you different and more functions. And when I say more, it's one more. It's the YPOW function. You can turn it on and off in the app. And with this one function is missing. But to be honest, I like the app more with this little guy, because it gives you some options to refine the sound to your taste, and I like that. So I told you it's the same app, but obviously it's not true. So you open the same app, but you see different options due to which app you use, due to which amp you use. And there are two things. Maybe if you know the Yamaha app, you will you know what I'm talking about. The Yamaha app shows some options that are redundant, in my opinion. For example, if you use the WXA-50, it gives you the option, the opportunity to turn on direct, and it says if you turn on direct, you don't use the DSP. And then you have the option of bypass, and that's the same. That bypasses the DSP. and it sounds the same. So I guess these are two ways of directly bypassing the tone controls. This one has a pure function, and that is the pure direct. Something I like, even though it sounds not as good as the sound with Y-Pow on. But I like just the opportunity to use it as in a pure direct mode, because that's the same mode I love using on my WXA-50 SACD and Blu-ray disc player. Now, I never use tone controls, so I either use pure direct or Y-Pow mode, and I always use the speaker A terminals. And what I love about Yamaha, I really love that about Yamaha, I can turn off the device through the app. And when I say turn off, I really mean turn off. I turn the device off with the app. And that's why I never use the remotes. I just don't need them. Yeah, I don't need them. I use AirPlay. It's great using AirPlay. I will tell you why. It understands if you use Netflix, for example. Then in this case, here you can read Netflix on the screen, and then it turns off after a few seconds or minutes. So it doesn't, the light of the display doesn't disturb you while watching a film. And when I talk about light, I have to tell you one thing. One thing I didn't know how to manage, because it says dim. So here you can see dimmer. Yeah. If I push that button, it dims down, but it never turns the display off. But when I watch, for example, via my beamer, my projector or beamer, I don't know which word is the right one in English, my beamer, then I want this display or these little lights here to turn off completely, but I don't know how to do that. Right now I would say it's not possible. And with this R-Cam, for example, it's possible. You can completely turn off the display. And yeah, like I said, while watching a movie, I don't want to see any light besides the light of the movie. Yeah. So AirPlay, Spotify Connect, Tidal. As far as I know, it doesn't support MQA. As far as I know, there is no update for the Tidal Connect function. There is no Chromecast, as far as I know, yeah. And this costs about 700 euros if you buy it new, and this costs about 500 euros. And both come with one antenna. And to be honest, I don't know how Yamaha manages it to get the Wi-Fi signal and the Bluetooth signal via the same antenna, because this Yamaha amp, this R-Cam amp needs two. One for I hope you can see it. One for BT, Bluetooth, and one for Wi-Fi. So, yeah, okay. Now, I will talk about the R-Cam in another video, like I said, but to give you a short explanation why I sold the Technics SUG amp is, I don't want to make my amp a streamer. I know how to do it, it's quite easy with a Chromecast audio device and just a power cable, a USB power cable and an optical cable. So the DA converter that is built in is used, and not the one that is built into this little thing here. In my opinion, or from my experience, that sounds better. It sounds better if you use the DAC within such a expensive device. But the problem with the SUG Technics, the Technics SUG 700 was that this USB output didn't power the Chromecast audio. So I had to use another power bank, and that is just too much. It's 2020 now, we are running into 2021, and I think amps should, everybody has another taste, and all the tastes are right. But for me, streamers, amps, and it seems like it's easy to put all the things in one box. And I respect all the guys who say no. It has to be an amp, a preamp, a DAC, a streamer. That's nice too, but for my home, for my living room, I want one thing. Or I'm also open, and I really like active loudspeakers. So maybe one day I'll try the WXA-50 wireless 2. I guess they sound great too. But for now, this is it. Due to the fact that I'm no YouTuber, I have no script. So if there's something I would tell you, if there's something I forgot, then I would write it down in the comments. And what is there? Yeah, what I said, the most important things are the left one is, in my opinion, more detailed, more tonally correct. So a guitar or a piano sounds more like a piano. And this is more a streamer amp. So it is really for convenience. It's small. You can also, if you go to a friend, you can take it with you. That's quite easy. Its build quality is very good in both cases. A very good build quality. So if you and the looks, I like the looks of the left one more. So if you're about sound quality, I would take the left one. If you are about convenience, I would take this one. And if you want both and you still tend to this one, then I would recommend using an external DAC, or not listening to Spotify via this. Spotify with this one was great in my opinion. I liked it, but you know, when the file is compromised and the DAC is compromising too, then it's too much in my opinion. So title via the Yamaha or a CD via the Yamaha is great. But in my opinion, Spotify didn't the same for me. So, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.